All right, gearheads, buckle up because we're diving headfirst into the legendary Nürburgring, also known as the Green Hell. Have you ever heard that nickname? It's not exactly a place where you'd want to take your grandma for a Sunday drive. Let me tell you, this track is notorious for its terrifying crashes, unbelievable danger, and rich history in Formula One. So the big question is, why isn't it a permanent fixture on the F1 calendar anymore? Let's unravel the mystery. Imagine you're behind the wheel of a Formula One car, a finely tuned machine screaming at over 200 mph. Now picture yourself hurtling down a narrow track with blind corners popping up everywhere. Sound intense? That's the Nürburgring in a nutshell. Built back in the 1920s, this beast of a track wasn't exactly designed with safety in mind. Think more like a crazy roller coaster ride through the German mountains, with death just a slight miscalculation away. Over the years, the track claimed the lives of numerous drivers, officials, and even spectators. Yikes! Okay, so with a rap sheet like that, it's no wonder Formula One drivers started getting a little jittery. In the 1970s, after a particularly horrific accident involving Niki Lauda, the reigning champion at the time, the pressure was on to make the track safer. They added some barriers and whatnot. But let's be honest, the Nürburgring was never going to be a cuddly teddy bear of a racetrack. Fast forward to the 1980s, and Formula One decided to take a stand. They said, hey, listen, we love the history and the challenge, but we also kinda like our drivers alive, and built a brand new super safe racetrack. This left the Nürburgring feeling a bit left out, like the outcast at the high school dance. The track did manage to sneak back onto the F1 calendar a few times under different names, like the European Grand Prix and the Eiffel Grand Prix. Remember Lewis Hamilton tying Michael Schumacher's win record there in 2020? That was pretty epic. But lately, it seems the Nürburgring just isn't on the top of F1's list. So what gives? Why isn't this legendary track a permanent fixture anymore? Well, there are a few reasons. First, the Nürburgring's owners apparently aren't too keen on coughing up the dough to host a race. Meanwhile, places like Vegas and Miami are throwing fistfuls of cash at F1, promising glitz, glamour, and probably a free buffet with every race. It's a tough competition. Think about it. A champagne shower in Monaco sounds pretty swanky. But can you imagine celebrating a victory with a bratwurst and a stein of beer at the Nürburgring? Not quite the same vibe, is it? Hey, I wouldn't mind a post-race pool party in Vegas, would you? Although, maybe not right after a grueling Nürburgring race. Maybe a nice spa day instead? Second, Formula One itself seems to be shifting its focus away from Europe and towards places like the US and the Middle East. It's all about that global reach, you know? So the Nürburgring, with all its history and European charm, might be getting a little squeezed out. Imagine explaining the Nürburgring's terrifying history to a potential sponsor in Dubai. They might be more interested in building a man-made island racetrack or something. But here's the thing. The Nürburgring isn't just about danger and death. This track is a pilgrimage site for racing fans. It's where legends like Jackie Stewart earned the nickname the Flying Scotsman with his daring performances. It's where Michael Schumacher perfected his wet-weather driving skills, a talent that would earn him a record-breaking 7 world championships. The Nürburgring has seen it all, from the heart-stopping battles of the early days to the more technical, strategically complex races of modern Formula One. It's a living, breathing testament to the history of motorsport. Look, don't get me wrong, the Nürburgring might not be on the official F1 calendar anymore, but that doesn't mean it's lost its magic. This track is still a wild stallion, a bucking bronco that throws down a thrilling challenge that pushes drivers to their absolute limits. Let's face it, a little danger adds to the allure, right? Just don't tell the FIA I said that. But seriously, the Nürburgring's future in F1 is an open road with a lot of unknowns. There have been whispers about upgrades and a facelift to bring those safety standards up to speed. Imagine the Nürburgring 2.0, a phoenix rising from the ashes of its daredevil past. Wider runoff areas would provide a much-needed buffer zone for those oh-so-close calls. Strategically placed gravel traps would become hungry maws, ready to catch any wayward tires that dare to stray from the tarmac. And state-of-the-art barriers would make even the bravest driver think twice before getting too close. It could be a whole new ball game. Maybe, just maybe, someday we'll see those sleek Formula One cars screaming around the green hell once again. That return would be a spectacle etched in history, wouldn't it? Just picture the adrenaline coursing through those drivers' veins as they navigate those perilous corners. Some blind as a bat's eye. We'd witness a unique blend of skill and raw courage, a true test of a driver's mettle. The modern F1 cars are marvels of engineering, down to the last aerodynamic fin and meticulously sculpted wing. But even the most cutting-edge technology can't erase the respect you have to command for this track. The Nürburgring demands respect. It's a humbling reminder of motorsport's roots, a time when danger lurked around every twist and victory tasted even sweeter because of the incredible risks involved. Back in the day, drivers were gladiators in fireproof suits, their courage a constant companion as they wrestled their machines around this unforgiving beast. In the meantime, gearheads, we can become the stewards of the Nürburgring's legend. Let's share our favorite stories about this historic track in the comments below. Did you know Jackie Stewart, a titan of the sport who once earned the nickname the Flying Scotsman with his daring performances, walked away from a horrific crash at the Nürburgring with barely a scratch? True story! Let's reminisce about the epic races that had us glued to our seats, the white-knuckle battles that separated champions from pretenders. Let's talk about the legendary drivers who became maestros of the wet track, like Michael Schumacher. His skill on a slick surface as undeniable as the rain itself. And let's not forget the countless moments that make the Nürburgring a historic landmark, a crucible where legends were forged and battles were won by a hair's breadth. Because who knows? Maybe if we create a groundswell of support, F1 will take notice and bring the Grand Prix roaring back to the green hell. Imagine the thunderous roar of the crowd, a wave of sound that washes over the track as the drivers hurtle into the first corner. Imagine the electrifying atmosphere that crackles in the air, thick with anticipation and the raw energy of human competition. The return of Formula One to this hallowed ground would be a story for the ages, wouldn't it? A new chapter written in the annals of motorsport history. So, let's keep the conversation going, become evangelists for the Nürburgring, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see the glorious return of the Grand Prix to this legendary track. After all, some legends are simply too epic to be relegated to the sidelines. The Nürburgring deserves its place in the spotlight, a testament to the daring spirit of motorsport, a place where machines are pushed to their limits and drivers become heroes. Don't you think? But let's also be realists. F1 is a business, and business follows the money. Right now, the glitz and glam of places like Vegas and Miami seem to hold more allure than the rugged, old-school charm of the Nürburgring. So, what can we do as fans? Well, we can keep the Nürburgring alive in our hearts and minds. We can visit the track itself, take a pilgrimage to this hallowed ground and walk in the footsteps of giants. We can support organizations that are dedicated to preserving the Nürburgring's legacy. And most importantly, we can keep talking about it. Share your Nürburgring stories online, on social media, with your friends. The more we talk about this legendary track, the more we keep its flame burning bright. Like a flickering candle in the wind, our collective passion for the Nürburgring can illuminate its path back to F1 glory. Who knows, maybe someday a new generation of drivers will get to experience the thrill, the danger, and the undeniable magic of this legendary track. So, gearheads, let's get the conversation rolling. Hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment below with your favorite Nürburgring story, and subscribe to the channel for more dives into the wild world of motorsport. And hey, if you ever get the chance to visit the Green Hell yourself, take a lap, feel the history beneath your tires, and remember the incredible story of this iconic racetrack. The Nürburgring may not be on the F1 calendar right now, but its legend is far from over. It's a place where history whispers from every corner, a crucible that forged champions and a testament to the enduring human spirit. Let's keep the dream alive, keep sharing the stories, and who knows, maybe someday we'll see Formula One return to its rightful place, the heart of the Green Hell.